My friends, let me tell you something that changed my entire way of thinking. Talent will start the race, but consistency will finish it. Every person you admire, every company you dream to build, every result you wish to see in your life, it all comes down to one quiet, invisible force: consistency. People often say, I don't have resources, I don't have support, I don't have luck. But the truth is, you don't need luck. You need persistence, not for 1 week, not for 1 month, but for years. Because the secret is not in what you do once, it's in what you do every single day, even when no one is watching. My friends, every single one of us has a dream. We all want to achieve something great. We all imagine success, freedom, recognition, happiness. But let me tell you something most people don't understand. Dreams are easy, consistency is hard. Everyone can dream big, but very few can wake up every single morning and take small, boring, uncomfortable steps toward that dream, even when no one notices. Consistency will break every limit you have, because it's the one force in life that never lies. You can fool people with your words, you can impress them for a moment with your talent, but you can never cheat consistency. It knows exactly how much effort you've truly given, and it rewards you accordingly, not today, not tomorrow, but eventually, in ways you can't even imagine. In the beginning, people won't understand your commitment. They will laugh at you. They will call you crazy. They will say, why are you wasting your time? Why don't you just relax like everyone else? And sometimes you'll doubt yourself too. You'll wonder if all this effort is even worth it. Because when you start being consistent, results don't come immediately. The process feels invisible. You wake up early, work hard, improve, and nothing seems to change. But remember this, the roots grow underground before the tree ever appears. When you water a plant every day, you don't see anything for a long time. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. The roots are building a foundation strong enough to hold a giant tree. That's what consistency does for your life. It builds your roots. You might not see success yet, but success is quietly growing beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to break through. And when it does, everyone will call you an overnight success. But you and I will know that night took years of unseen work, years of faith, and years of consistency. People love excitement. They want fast progress, instant success, quick results. But real success doesn't come from excitement, it comes from endurance. Anyone can be excited for 1 day. But the real winners are the ones who stay consistent on day 1000, when no one is watching, when the applause is gone, and when the only person left to believe is you. Let me share something I learned early. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is that extraordinary people don't quit when it gets boring. They keep doing the small things, reading, learning, practicing, failing, adjusting, repeating again and again. The small habits you repeat daily build unshakable confidence. You don't get confidence by talking big. You get confidence by keeping small promises to yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, you build trust with yourself. That's how self-belief grows. Not through motivation, not through hype, but through repetition. You show up, you do the work, and over time, the world begins to bend toward your consistency. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means you keep showing up even when you fail, because failure is not the opposite of consistency. Failure is a part of it. Every failure is a test asking, are you serious about this? Most people fail once and quit, but the consistent ones fail 100 times and still wake up the next morning to try again. They understand that failure is feedback, not defeat. Every time they fall, they adjust, they improve, and they keep going. Think about this. You don't become great by avoiding failure. You become great by mastering it. And you can only master it through repetition. The first time you try, you'll make mistakes. The 10th time, you'll still make mistakes. But the 100th time, something changes. You begin to move differently. You think faster. You understand patterns. Suddenly, what once felt impossible now feels natural. That's the magic of consistency. It turns weakness into strength. There is a secret lesson that consistency teaches you, one that talent never can. When you're consistent, you start to notice things others miss. You develop intuition. You understand timing, patterns, human behavior, systems, emotions, all the hidden details that only reveal themselves to those who stay long enough to see them. Most people quit before they reach this level. They never stay consistent long enough to truly understand the game they're playing. But the consistent ones, they go beyond talent, they go beyond luck. They reach a level of depth that becomes unstoppable. You might not have money, connections, or genius, but if you have consistency, you can build all of those. You might start with nothing, but if you stay consistent, life will start giving you opportunities, because life respects those who don't give up. The universe rewards those who keep showing up, even when no one's clapping. Your dream doesn't need perfection, it needs patience. It doesn't need a miracle, it needs momentum. And momentum comes from consistency. Every time you act, even a little, you create motion. That motion builds energy. That energy builds progress. And one day, progress becomes transformation. Think about it. Water is soft, gentle, and calm. But when it flows consistently, it can cut through rock. That's the power of consistency. It breaks every limit, not with force, but with persistence. Every drop, every step, every day, all of it compounds into something unstoppable. So, my friends, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. The truth is, you'll never feel ready. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the right time. It comes to those who make every time right. Even if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, don't stop moving. One day, you'll look back and realize that the things that felt impossible are now part of your daily life. You'll look at your old limits and laugh, because you didn't break them overnight. You broke them bit by bit, day after day, through the quiet power of consistency. And in that moment, you'll understand success was never about luck, never about who you knew, never about what you had. It was about how long you were willing to stay consistent. So keep going. Keep showing up. Even when it's slow. Even when it's lonely. Because one day, your consistency will break every limit you thought you had, and that day, you won't just be successful. You'll be unstoppable. When you start something new in life, a business, a dream, a skill, a journey, people will not see what you see. They will not believe what you believe. In the early stages, everything feels invisible. You are working hard, but there are no results. You are learning, but no one notices. You wake up earlier than everyone else, stay up later, sacrifice your comfort, and still nothing changes on the surface. And it's at that moment you begin to question yourself. Am I wasting my time? Am I even moving forward? That invisible stage is the most difficult part of every dream. Because when you start, you have energy, excitement, and passion. You imagine success. You imagine the day when people will admire you. But after a few months, when no one notices your progress, when your results are small, and when your friends start saying, you're still doing that, your motivation begins to fade. You start to wonder if maybe they're right. Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you should just quit. But let me tell you something very important. Every great story begins in silence. Before success makes noise, consistency grows in quiet. The roots of your dream are developing underground. You can't see them, but they are there, growing deeper and stronger every single day. When you're consistent, you are building a foundation that one day will support everything you dream of. But because the world only looks at what's visible, they will assume you're not progressing. They will see you trying, failing, repeating, and they'll think you're stuck. But they can't see what's happening beneath the surface. It's like planting bamboo. For the first few years, nothing happens. You water it every day, you care for it, you protect it from the wind and the sun, and yet it doesn't grow even an inch above the ground. People will laugh. They'll say, you've been watering this for years, and there's still nothing there. But then one day the bamboo shoots up, and within weeks, it grows taller than anything else around it. Did it grow in weeks? No. It grew over the years silently, patiently, underground, building a root system strong enough to hold its incredible height. That's how success works. You spend years building the unseen roots, the habits, the discipline, the mindset, the experience. And one day, everything bursts into view. People will call you lucky. They'll say, you came out of nowhere. But you'll know the truth that you were there every day, showing up, fighting through doubt, staying consistent while everyone else stopped. That invisible period is a test. It's where most people give up because they don't see immediate rewards. They think effort must equal instant success. But the real world doesn't work that way. The universe pays on delay. You invest the effort today, and the reward comes when you've earned the maturity to handle it. That's why patience is not weakness, it's power. Let me tell you something I learned watching countless dreamers. The world never believes in you at the beginning. That's okay. It's not their job to believe in you, it's your job to believe in yourself long enough for them to see the proof. When you start something small, people might mock you. When it fails a few times, they'll laugh. But when you succeed, they'll say, I always knew you could do it. This is the cycle of life. So stop worrying about who believes in you today. Focus on becoming so consistent that one day, even your critics will respect you. You see, most people are addicted to visibility. They want others to see their progress. They want quick recognition, quick money, quick validation. But growth doesn't happen in front of an audience. Growth happens in solitude, in silence, in the hours when no one is clapping for you. The athlete improves when training alone. The writer improves when nobody's reading. The entrepreneur improves when the world doubts them. The invisible stage is not punishment, it's preparation. It's where you build strength, resilience, and character. It's where you discover who you really are when things get hard. Because when life gets silent and results are slow, that's when the weak stop and the strong keep going. And that's what consistency truly means, showing up even when the results are invisible. Don't forget, success has a strange sense of humor. It hides itself to see who will keep going. It disappears just long enough to make you doubt yourself. But the ones who keep moving, keep improving, keep believing, they're the ones success reveals itself to. Because success doesn't come to those who are lucky. It comes to those who are ready. When you're consistent, something powerful happens inside you. You start trusting yourself. You stop needing validation. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You understand that growth is personal, and you begin to enjoy the process, not just the reward. You'll notice something else. The world starts to shift slowly around you. People who once doubted you start asking for your advice. The ones who ignored your efforts start studying your results. The same people who called you crazy begin to call you smart. But by that time, you've grown so much inside that you don't even need their approval anymore. Because you've learned the secret: consistency builds peace, not pride. Every master was once a beginner who refused to quit. Every success story started with 1,000 invisible days of hard work. The person who wins is not the most talented, it's the one who stayed long enough for their work to be seen. So when you feel like nothing is working, remind yourself the roots are growing. When no one supports you, remember your vision is not for them to understand yet. When results are slow, understand that slow growth is real growth. Speed is exciting, but depth is what lasts. Keep watering your dream. Keep showing up for your goal. Even if progress feels invisible, it is not wasted. Because one day, that invisible effort will become your visible success. And when it does, you'll realize that all the waiting, all the doubting, all the lonely nights were worth it. The journey is invisible at first because it's shaping you into the kind of person who can handle what you asked for. It's not just about achieving the goal, it's about becoming the person who deserves it. The invisible stage is not the end of the journey, it's the beginning of greatness. So if you're in that phase right now where no one notices all your work, where progress feels painfully slow, and where results seem far away, don't stop. This is your test. Keep going. Keep believing. Because one day you'll wake up and everything that was once invisible will stand tall before you, undeniable, unstoppable, and beautifully yours. There is a quiet power that most people ignore, the power of taking small steps every single day. We live in a world that celebrates big wins, big moments, and instant results. Everywhere you look, people are chasing shortcuts. They want to lose weight fast, get rich fast, become famous overnight. But the truth that nobody likes to hear is that real progress is slow, silent, and repetitive. The people who truly change their lives are not the ones who move the fastest. They are the ones who move every day, no matter how slow it feels. You don't build confidence by talking about your goals. You build it by showing up for them. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one, you grow stronger inside. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when no one cares, you are teaching your mind that your words have value. That's what real self-respect is built on, not applause, not validation, but the quiet satisfaction of knowing that you can trust yourself. When you start taking small steps, it won't look impressive. You might study for an hour when everyone else is sleeping. You might practice your craft after work when you're exhausted. You might go to the gym when you don't see any change in the mirror. And people will ask, why bother? They won't understand that these small actions are not about today's result, they are about building momentum. Because once you get momentum, the impossible starts to look possible. You see, every mountain can be climbed, but not in one leap. You climb it one step at a time. Every step looks the same, every view feels similar, and it can get boring, but those boring steps are what separate the dreamers from the achievers. Most people quit halfway because they can't see the top yet. They think if progress isn't visible, it isn't real. But the truth is, growth happens inside before it shows outside. The body you want, the career you dream of, the skills you admire, they are all built quietly through small, consistent effort that no one applauds. I've met countless people who started strong but couldn't stay the course. They had passion, energy, excitement, everything looked perfect in the beginning. But then came the middle, the part where you wake up tired, where no one notices your effort, where results come too slowly. That's where most people disappear. They think they failed, but they haven't failed, they've just stopped. Consistency is not glamorous, but it's undefeated. The one who keeps going will always pass the one who quits. The reason small steps matter is because they create rhythm. Once you have rhythm, you don't need motivation. You don't wake up wondering if you feel like it. You do it because it's part of you now. You don't negotiate with your goals anymore, you just act. That's what winners do differently. They treat their dream like a responsibility, not a hobby. They know that discipline is the highest form of self-love because it protects your future from your present laziness. And every time you follow that rhythm, you change your identity. You stop saying, I'm trying to be fit, and start saying, I'm the kind of person who trains every day. You stop saying, I want to build a business, and start saying, I'm an entrepreneur who learns and improves daily. The transformation doesn't happen when you reach your goal. It happens the moment you commit to daily action. Because the moment you show up consistently, your brain starts to believe that you are serious. Once it believes, it aligns everything, your thoughts, habits, energy in that direction. Small steps may seem insignificant, but they are compounding. One drop of water means nothing, but drops falling continuously can wear away stone. A single page of reading feels small, but read one every day and you'll finish 100 books. 10 push-ups are tiny, but 10 done daily for a year changes your strength. The secret is not doing more. The secret is doing regularly, because repetition builds mastery. At first, repetition feels tiring. You'll say, I already did this yesterday. But that's exactly the point. Mastery is doing the same thing so many times that it becomes second nature. It's not about